Works out that if you have a little opening in a dark room looking out, through that opening, an image of the world comes in upside down on the opposite wall. It's just a given. It's been around for, well, since the beginning. It's the physics of optics. That's how all cameras work, except cameras use lenses. My first camera obscura images were just openings, little holes, 3/8 of an inch, which gives you a kind of a rough idea of how things look. Eventually I started using lenses because I wanted them sharper. Camera obscura images of houses across our street was actually the first one I made. So I didn't know exactly what to feel, except that I felt like some kind of inventor, like I had discovered photography again or something. So it felt very new and thrilling. And after that, this living room picture, I made a bedroom picture. You know, it took a few days to work it out, but our bedroom was covered with black plastic, and our neighbors must have thought weird stuff about us, you know, this satanic cult living next to us or something. Lisa and I would wake up in the morning and see this upside down world with squirrels walking across the walls, and it really was in the territory of dreams. It's potent, it's very reminiscent of real magic. It took me 6 months or so to figure out how do I make an exposure. So and that's what's different about this work, that I actually made a picture inside the camera obscura. It felt like there was a revelation of the process, like keeping magic while showing the trick at the same time. The photographs of sunspots on a table were done in Umbria in Italy. It's covered with vines and olive trees. So what we're looking at, in fact, is a sort of camera obscura. In this case, it's what happens when small openings are created by the crossing of branches or leaves, making small openings. And then in the shade, which is sort of the dark space, what we're seeing is the sun actually defining itself very clearly on the table. Dapple sunlight is basically camera obscuras naturally. So that happens all the time. Van Gogh has a great number of paintings where it's just dapple sunlight and you can sort of see these circles. So I wanted to make pictures about this natural occurrence in two cases. I don't know why I made two, but I think it makes sense to have one being raw, just a table, and then the pleasure of eating with a tablecloth. Photography, like any other medium, can be an avenue to refreshing the world. I don't want to just repeat the same old news. I'm always trying to figure out new ways to look at stuff. And I think there's some embedded sense of hope in that. You know, if you make the world interesting, if you make a paper bag look interesting, then the world is interesting. And I think that's not always the case in art, you know, but I think for me that's one of the agendas.